Are you wanting to learn how to install mods for Star Wars Battlefront 2 or are having issues doing so? If so, then this is the video for you, so be sure to stay till the very end so you don't miss out on anything, because I'll be telling you guys everything you need to know about installing mods, and I'll also be trying to be pretty in-depth and detailed while also trying to make this as simple as possible, because let's be real here, I get it. The mod process can be very intimidating and a pain in the butt sometimes, and actually a real hassle to go through, but just try and stay with me. I even have some troubleshooting tips for some bugs that you may run into, so hopefully this will be a simple and easy process for you. So just sit back, relax, and we'll get through this one step at a time. But I know what you're thinking, because I'm the Gray Jedi, and I know what you're thinking, alright? How do I know that this process that you're telling me, Gray, actually works? Well, that's a great question. I know this process actually works because this is what worked for me. I learned how to do this by myself with a little help from Sparty, and spent an entire couple days figuring out all the ins and outs regarding this process and Kyber servers, which we'll get into in another video. But that's enough of me talking. Let's get right into how to install these mods. Hey guys, I'm the Gray Jedi and welcome back to the channel. Now, really quick before we get started, I'm going to show you guys how to get to certain sites throughout the video, but to make it easier on you guys, I put the links that you need down in the description. So for whatever reason, if you're having trouble getting to a particular website, or if you don't want to join the Discord to get a particular link, and I know that sounds weird right now and a pain in the butt, but just stay with me. I try and make it as simple as possible, where all you got to do is just click the right link that I put in the description, and I hope that helps you guys out a lot. And if you forget what I'm telling you right now, or if it just sounds confusing, don't worry, just forget what I said. I'll also refer to those specific links when I mention that particular step. So really quick before we get started, you want to look up your Battlefront 2 files, and if you don't know how to do that, one way you can access them is just by searching the name Battlefront on your computer. And once you do that and you see the game, you can right click, or you can just look to the right and look for an option that says open file location. Once you do that, you want to go ahead and left click on that, and that should bring up all of the Battlefront 2 files. If it doesn't, and if it just brings up, a shortcut, you can just do the same thing over again. Right click on it, hover over the option open file location, and then left click on it. Now this step is very important, so listen very carefully. You don't want to delete the wrong file here, so what you want to do is look for a file called mod data. It should be right under the file where it says data. Now, if you don't see a mod data folder, that's probably because you've never installed mods before, and that is perfectly fine. You don't have to do anything, so you can just go ahead and X out, but still listen, because this can be very important information for you in the future if you ever decide you don't want any more mods and you just want them all off your computer, because this is the way to do that. So if you guys ever install these mods and decide I'm not really comfortable with mods anymore and you want to completely wipe them from your computer, this is how you do it. But for those that do have that mod folder, you guys want to go ahead and delete it. Not the data folder, like I said, I repeat, not the data folder. You just want to delete the mod data folder, and that should be the one underneath the data folder. Once you do that, you are all set, so just X out and we can start the process. Now, the very first thing you need to do is to turn off your antivirus software if you have any, because that will stop you from downloading the things you need to download. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you can just look it up on Google, because every antivirus software is different. But if you don't have any antivirus software, then you are good and you don't have to do that step. Now, for those that do, if you are worried about viruses or being banned, please skip to this timestamp where I talk more about it. Now, for this next step, you need to go to Google and type in Frosty Mod Manager, and you can go ahead and click on that first link where it says downloads the Frosty Tool Suite, or you can just click the link that I put in the description that says Frosty Tool Suite link. And once you do that, you'll see that there's three different options. There's the Mod Manager, the Editor, and the Alpha. The editor is for making mods, and we're not going to cover that in this video because I don't even know how to make mods, so that leaves us with the other two options between the mod manager and the alpha. The mod manager is the normal default mod manager that can work, while the alpha is a newer version but is still in the alpha stages, hence the name, and the builds are still work in progress. Although the alpha version gives you a chance to access more mods that you wouldn't normally be able to otherwise, so I'd personally recommend using the alpha, specifically the alpha 5, which is basically the alpha version that you see here at the moment. And I say that because I first downloaded the normal mod manager and went to go try it out by downloading a couple mods. And there was some really cool ones that didn't end up working because they needed the newer alpha version. And when looking up those mods, sometimes you'll see in the description that this particular mod only works with the Frosty Mod Manager Alpha 5. So I went back and downloaded the alpha instead, and I gotta say it's definitely worth it because it seems like it can do everything the mod manager can and more. And that way you're completely up to date and you can still use all of the mods. Now on the official website, it doesn't have a download option and only a Discord option to get the download link, so feel free to join the Discord server if you guys want to go through that process and get the link, or you can just click on that link that I put in the description that says Alpha 5 Frosty Mod Manager download link and get to the download page that way. Now, once you click on that link, it will bring you to a page that looks like this, and all you got to do is click download. Now, if you don't want the alpha and you just want the normal mod manager, that's fine too. You can do the same thing we're doing, just click the download button with the mod manager instead of the alpha. Now, once you've clicked download, if there's an ad that pops up, just X out of it, and then once it's done downloading, you can just open it and extract the files, or you can drag it to your desktop, right-click on it, and then click the extract files option. Now, you have to extract the files because you're dealing with zip files, and you need to access what's inside. But if you don't see an extract files option, that is perfectly fine. That's just because you haven't installed any type of software that can extract it for you. So let's go ahead and do that just in case you have no idea what I'm talking about. Now, when downloading this software, you should be able to extract files from a zip or even a RAR file. Now, you can choose any software you want to do that, but just don't pay any money for it because there are a ton of free good options. With that said, if you want to know a couple that are free, you can use WinRAR, 7-Zip, WinZip, whatever floats your boat. There's a lot of them. I even know Sparty has an entirely different one that he used for this process, so for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use one that I am familiar with, and that's 7-Zip. Like I said, that's the one I use, and it works great for me. I've also used WinRAR, and that works great too, but that one also gives me a lot of ads, and for the sake of this video, I'm just going to show you guys how to use 7-Zip, which is my #1 option. So what you guys want to do is go to Google and type in 7-Zip. Click the first link that says 7-Zip, or you can just go in the description and click on the link that I put that says 7-Zip link. And once you do that, you can just click on the download button. Just make sure you download the right one depending on your Windows. So for me, I have the 64-bit, so that's the version I'm going to download. And once you do that, you open it, press yes when it asks you if it's okay to make changes to your device, and then choose your destination folder and then press install. Once it finishes installing, then you can go ahead and right-click that zipped mod manager folder that you downloaded and hover over the 7-Zip option, then click on extract files. Then you can pick where you want to extract the files and then press OK. Me personally, I made an entirely new folder called Battlefront 2 Frosty Alpha Mods. You can call yours whatever you would like or use an already existing folder, but me personally, I like to have all this organized and it's in its own folder, and that's what I would recommend. But now that you have extracted all of that into your folder, you can now open that and see all the different files. You won't see as many as you see here, but that's only because I already have a lot of mods installed. So at this point, you get the option to run the program as an administrator. Personally, I don't because I like running other things as an administrator instead of this, and I don't really care if this gets priority. But if you want to run this as an administrator, this is what you want to do. You want to do that by right-clicking on the Frosty Mod Manager application, go down to Properties, select that, click on the Compatibility tab, and then select the box where it says run this program as an administrator, and then press apply at the bottom. Now at this point, here comes the fun, actually downloading the mods. That's right, you've done the hard part, at least for the most part. So now you can find most Battlefront 2 mods on Nexus mods, and you can literally find that by typing in Battlefront 2 Nexus mods. Click the first link that says Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017 Nexus mods and community, or you can just click the link in the description that says Battlefront 2 Nexus mods link. And once you're on that page, you can just browse or even search if you're looking for something in particular. So let's just go ahead and try one. What's a good mod? Mandalorian Luke. So let's type in Luke. And there we are. Let's click on the rescue Luke Skywalker. And when you do that, it will give you all kinds of information as you see here. You can see that it's multiplayer safe. And once again, if you're worried about getting banned with these mods, just skip to this timestamp where I talk more about it. But to download it, you need to click on the Files tab and download the one you want. So Me personally, I like the hood up, so that's the one I'm going to download. So you click manual download on whichever one you're doing. And now in order to download this, you need to make a Nexus Mods account. Don't worry, it's completely free, so you can just go ahead and create an account. Or if you already have one like me, you can just click on login here. Once doing that, you can log in, or if you don't have an account, you can just click register here and go through those steps to make an account. Now, once making an account or signing in, it will bring you to this page once again. So you can just re-click manual download and then click slow download. If you want the fast download, that does cost money because that's a part of the premium version of Nexus Mods, but to be honest, the slow download is still pretty fast, at least it is for me, and that will obviously depend on your internet and stuff, but anyways, here it is downloaded. So now we can finally boot up the Frosty Alpha Mod Manager, and on your end, I believe you won't see Battlefront 2 yet, and that's perfectly fine. That's just because you have to create a path. So at the bottom right corner, select New, and then select your Battlefront 2 application. If you don't know where to find that, you can do that same process that we did in the beginning, where you search in your computer and then type in Battlefront, then select Open File Location, and if it just brings you to a shortcut again, just right-click it and then left-click Open File Location, and then it should bring you to where your game is located. Once you do that, you can just look towards the top of your files and you'll see which drive and folders it's in, so you can just go ahead and select those in the right order from the mod manager to get your game application. For example, for me, it's under this PC, my D drive, in my video games folder, and in my Star Wars Battlefront 2 folder. And in that, I can see my Battlefront 2 application. Once I selected that, you left click open, and then yours should look like mine. Once that happens, you can select Battlefront 2 and then press select in the bottom right hand corner, and once you do that, it will bring you to something that looks like this. Now on your end, this entire left side will be blank, and that's exactly how it should be. You just don't have any mods yet, but we just downloaded that Luke mod, so let me show you how to bring it into the mod manager. In the top left hand corner, you will see an option that says add mods right below where it says available mods. Now, once you see that, you can left click on that and then it will bring up your downloads folder. Then in your downloads folder, you can select the mod that you want to open and then press open, or you can just double click the mod. Now, you'll see two things now. On the left side of the mod manager, you will see the mod you just selected with the title and version. And on the right side of the mod manager, you will see the title and the description of the mod that you just selected. So once you see that you want that mod, you can now press the apply mods button towards the middle of the top, and you will see that it is now selected and ready to go on the right side of your mod manager. Now at this point, you're pretty much all set. The left side just contains the different mods that you've downloaded and added, and the right side shows you what you have applied. So let's try this process one more time and add another mod. That way you get the hang of it just in case you miss something. So let's go back to Nexus Mods and find a loading screen mod. So let's type in loading screen. Here's a really cool one, Star Wars All Eras loading screen. Let's click on that, select files, manual download, slow download, give it a second to finish, hop back into the mod manager, select add mods, select the loading screen mod, open. That's the one we want, so apply. And there we go, we have two different mods already applied and ready to go. So let's go ahead and try to launch the game with these mods. Now, all we have to do is select the launch button. Now, once we do that, this launching window will pop up and we just have to wait for it to finish its thing. Now, your first time doing this process, there will be another window that pops up that looks a lot like this. All you have to do is press OK, allow it to make changes to your device, and then you'll see like a crazy code window pop up. Don't worry, that's just altering the game's code to put the mods in. Now, it will probably take a minute for it to load depending on how many mods you have, but once that process finishes, your game will automatically start with these mods. Now, if your game didn't boot up at all like mine, or if it just booted up just without any of the mods that we just applied, don't worry, I know exactly how to fix it. This is where we're going to be going over some of the important troubleshooting tips that may help you. Although, if yours did launch with the mods, then great, you are all set and ready to go. I hope you have fun, but I would highly recommend you stay tuned till the end of the video, because you never know when you might need some of this information if you run into an issue or want the mods completely off your computer. So for those that are still here because the launch button didn't work right, that could be because it's trying to launch the game from Origin. And you can have the game from EA Desktop, Steam, or even the Epic Game Store like me back when the game came out for free. So what you want to do is go up to the top left corner and click the Tools option, and then click Options. Once you do that, a window will pop up, and you want to go ahead and click on the right tab that says Launch Options. Now, what you want to do is make sure the platform launching enabled box is checked, and where it says platform, you want to select your actual platform from where you typically boot up the game. So, for example, if you have the game on Steam, you want to select Steam. If you're on Origin, then select Origin, and then you want to go to the bottom right of the window and then press save. Once doing that, you can repeat the process by pressing the launch button to see if it works for you. If that still doesn't work for you, then that means you're in the same boat as me. There's some type of bug issue. Isn't that great? But don't worry, I know how to fix it, and I know what you're thinking. Are you kidding me? This is so complicated and stupid. And you know what? You're kind of right, but just stay with me. It'll be worth it, because you only have this process to do once, and then you're all good. So if it's not working, you want to go ahead and download Frosty Fix 4. Now, you can do this by going to Google and typing in Frosty Fix, and click that first website that says Divinia Frosty Fix, or you can just go in the description and click on the link that says Frosty Fix link. Now, once you're on this page, you want to scroll down till it says Frosty Fix 4, and you want to left click where it says download the latest version here. Once doing that, it will bring you to this new page, and you want to left click on the frostyfix.exe. Once doing that, it will download and you can open it. If you're on Windows, this Windows box will pop up, and you just need to click on more info and select run anyways. That's just kind of like the virus protection, but there's no virus on this. So once you do that, you will have full access to Frosty Fix. So with Frosty Fix, what you want to do is select the game you want. So in your case, it's Star Wars Battlefront 2. Select whatever profile you want. So for me, in this case, I'll choose the mod video test profile. And if you don't know what that is, don't worry, we'll be getting to that in just a minute here. And what you want to do is go ahead and select whatever platform you're on. Or you can do what I normally do and just select global. That way, whenever you open up Battlefront 2 from whatever platform, whether that's from Origin, Steam, EA Desktop, or even in my case, Epic Game Store, it will still work no matter what. So you can click global or whatever platform you are trying to boot it from. Now, once you have all of that selected, you just have to left click on enable mods globally, give it a second to load, and you're all set. Now we can just boot up the game normally, and it will launch with all of our mods. So I launch mine from Epic Game Store, so let's go ahead and do that. Epic Games, Library, Battlefront 2. So as you can see here, the game is booting up, and you can already see by the loading screen the mods are working, but let's just give it a second to load, and we'll make sure our Luke mod is also loaded in as well. And here it is, ready to go. Now, if it's still not working and you used a mod that you saw and not the one I used in the video, it may be because the mod you're trying to use may be outdated. There are some mods that no longer work with the latest update of Battlefront 2, so just check to make sure you're not using an outdated one. Typically, I've noticed that sometimes they'll say it in the description, but other times it just comes down to trial and error. So please just to see if it works, just use the two mods that I used in this video just for you to test it out, and then that should work. Now, when dealing with multiple mods at a time, it can be a little tricky.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
Where you'll just kind of have to learn and play around with it, because if you have multiple mods equipped at the same time, they can overlap and actually clash together sometimes, or altogether just not even look like anything. For example, if you have like two Kenobi mods where one is Mace Windu and one is Revan, and they're both applied, they may clash together, so just be aware of that. Now, sometimes it's actually pretty cool because I've actually made that mistake and had both of them applied, but both of them mashed together and it actually looked pretty dope. So I mean, whatever makes you happy. I also have a Nihilus and Palpatine mod for Dooku, and they both work perfectly fine overlap since they're on different skin appearances. So as you have fun with it, you'll learn all the ins and outs. But I just wanted to let you guys know that in advance. That way you're not like, what the heck happened here? Because it can look a little freaky sometimes. Also, if you're wanting to disable certain mods, you can literally just uncheck the box of the mod you don't want applied, and it won't load in. So let's just say I don't want this Luke mod. I can just disable it. But let's say you have a ton of mods and you just want to play the game normally without getting rid of all the mods, because let's say you want to play with them again the next day. All you have to do is open up Frosty Fix and then select the bottom left option that says disable mods. Once you do that, give it a second to load, and then you can boot the game up normally. Then when you want them back, all you gotta do is just boot up Frosty Fix again, do that process over, select the game, select the platform, the profile, and then select launch with mods enabled, and that's it, simple as that. Now, let's say you did this entire process and you want all of the mods completely off your computer for whatever the reason. All you have to do is go to your Battlefront 2 files as we did at the beginning of the video and delete that mod data folder, because that is where all your mods are. Then it's like you've never done this entire process. Then when you want them back, you can just rinse and repeat the process. And another cool thing about the mod manager is that you can actually set profiles like mod loadouts. You'll see in the top left hand corner where it says pack, yours will say default and mine is labeled as mod video tests for this instance. And I'm sharing this with you because you can actually have different profiles. For example, when you look at mine, you can see that I have default, test, Kyber, and mod video test. And each profile lets you apply any set of specific mods. So like for me, I'll contain my gameplay altering mods that I can't use online in my Kyber pack, and my normal multiplayer safe cosmetic mods in my default pack. This is really cool because you can just choose whatever pack you want and then press the launch button to activate it. Now that's great because you don't have to keep adding and deleting mods over and over each time you want to switch a bunch of mods. You can just switch the profile. And if you're wondering how to add or delete a profile, that's what these two buttons are for. Add a pack and remove a pack. Now, for those that are worried about viruses and are worried about being banned, I totally get that, and I've always been on the side of caution when it comes to downloading this stuff. So I just wanted to let you guys know if you are worried about that stuff because you gotta press allow and you gotta turn off your antivirus software, I completely get it. I was in that position. Just try and think of it as me taking that chance for you, or at least doing that process first to see what happens. And for me, everything has worked out completely fine, and you can even turn on your antivirus software again after you've done this process and scan your computer to see if anything is there. But like I said, I'm pretty cautious about this stuff, and I'd say it's pretty okay. But with this stuff in mods, you're always taking some type of risk, and I don't want to hide that from you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that I did do this process, and everything turned out just fine. I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. I just would recommend doing it if your PC can handle it and you got the time to play around with this stuff, because it's like I said before, this really does feel like Battlefront 3, or as close as we can get to it once you can get all this stuff to work. And regarding bans, you should be fine with the cosmetic mods, but definitely do not download the gameplay altering ones and then go play online with them, because chances are you're going to get banned, and rightfully so. So just be sure you're on the Kyber servers or just playing offline when using those gameplay altering mods. Although if you're just using those cosmetic ones, you should be okay, like I said. But I do want to say that you still do run the risk of being banned. But me personally, I haven't ran into any issues. Now, if you have any more questions regarding this, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. I'd love to help you guys, or even pop into one of my PC streams where I'm literally playing with these mods. I wouldn't mind helping. Now, with all that said, if you guys want to know more about what mods you can use online, what are my favorite mods, and just other mod content as well as how to do private matches with friends and how to use the Kyber servers, and just want to know how to host and join custom servers, as well as the other stuff you can do with it in combination with these mods, then subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that in-depth video where I go over all that information, because that will be my next video, and I will also have some more mod content in the future. Anyways, that's going to do it for this mod video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something new, and if you did, please consider using the force to smash that like button down below, only if you enjoyed, of course. And if you disliked it, then dislike it, and please give me your constructive criticism in the comments down below so I know how to improve these videos and make them better and better. Also, if you're interested in more videos like this, or just like great Star Wars content in general, or even amazing live streams, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell down below. It's completely free and it helps out the channel. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Feel free to comment something like your favorite mod, or if you still have any questions about the mods or this entire process, like I said, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm serious. I know some people don't want to ask questions because they don't want to bother me or they think I won't answer, but I mean, come on, what is the worst that can happen? Me ignore you? Come on! I'm here to help you guys out. That's why I made this video, and I like to talk with you guys. Anyways, don't let anyone steal your joy. Thanks again for watching, and if you made it this far in the video and you're seeing this, be sure to comment BFMC, which stands for the Battlefront modding community. That way I can see who watched it all the way through. I appreciate it, and may the force be with you always.
No.